Welcome to Bollywood Deep Dive from IndiaReview.com, your daily Bollywood news. Let's get into it. And we have to start with the box office because the numbers are just flying everywhere. It feels like every movie is breaking some kind of record or about to. Absolutely. The big story is Thalapathy Vijay's Jana Nayagan, which is also being reported as Janneta in some places. On its 6th day, it's having a fantastic run. Fantastic is the word. It's already surpassed the lifetime collections of his own film, Sarkar, to become his 6th highest grossing film ever. The worldwide total is sitting at around 246 crores. It's probably crossed the 250 crore mark by the time we're recording this. And that's just in the first week. It's incredible. The reviews are a little mixed, you know. Some are calling it an electrifying mass entertainer, while others are saying it's a bit messy and unravels under the pressure of being his last film before he fully enters politics. That's always the case with a superstar film, isn't it? The fans will love it no matter what, and the critics will find the narrative threads to pull. But the numbers don't lie. Vijay's stardom is just undeniable. It truly is. And speaking of consistent performers, let's talk about Dhamal 4. The movie that will not stop. Day 19, and it is still pulling in audiences. It's nearing the 150 crore mark in India. It is. But the interesting thing is, it's probably going to wrap up its run as the 4th highest grossing Bollywood film of 2026, which is a huge success, obviously, but it also speaks to how big the other hits of the year have been. It's a high bar this year. To be number 4 is still a massive win for an ensemble comedy franchise. It found its audience, and that audience is loyal. And loyalty is key. We're also seeing that with some of the regional films. Chennai Love Story is holding strong on weekdays, crossing 23 crores in 5 days, and becoming one of the top 10 Tollywood grossers of the year already. And up in Punjab, Shehnaaz Gill's Ishqnama is now the 5th highest Punjabi grosser of 2026. It's so great to see strong performances across different industries. It really is. But Sefer, we have to talk about the giant web-slinger in the room. Oh, we do. Spider-Man Brand New Day. The pre-sales in India are apparently threatening Avengers Endgame records. They're talking about a potential 60 crore opening day. 60? That is a mind-boggling number for a Hollywood film in India. It just shows how massive that franchise is. It's a cultural event at this point. It's not just here either. In China, it's beaten the entire pre-sales collection of the last Avatar movie. It's a global phenomenon. So while our own industries are thriving, the big Hollywood blockbusters are still a force to be reckoned with. It's going to be a very interesting weekend at the movies.
Understatement of the year. I almost feel bad for any other film releasing this week.
It's a brave move, that's for sure.
All right, from box office battles to word battles, there have been a lot of headlines around Kangana Ranaut this week.
Yes, quite a few. She gave an interview where she was very introspective about her journey as an outsider in the industry, and she drew a direct comparison between her path and Shah Rukh Khan's.
Which is a fascinating comparison to make. Both are undisputed outsiders who built massive careers without industry connections, but their public narratives and relationships with the industry itself have been, well, polar opposites.
Exactly. She talked about never feeling like she was part of Bollywood's social fabric, feeling alienated, and she didn't mince words, saying she found the people to be self-serving, and I quote, stupid and dumb.
She has always been very candid about her feelings of not belonging, and in some ways you have to acknowledge the courage it takes to speak that bluntly, especially when you're still working within that system. She feels the industry is a very exclusive club.
And for a long time, it really was. The outsider versus insider debate is not new, and she has been one of its most vocal proponents. Her point is that while Shah Rukh Khan also came from outside, he became the ultimate insider, the person everyone wanted to work with, whereas she feels she was always kept at arm's length despite her success and talent.
It's a complex dynamic. One can argue that personality, choices, and how you navigate the social and political landscape of the industry also play a huge role in that. But her feeling of being othered is her experience, and it's clearly very real for her.
Of course. But this has all been happening alongside another controversy surrounding her comments about some of the Gen Z student protesters, whom she referred to as Generation Gutter.
Right.
That caused a huge backlash, and she has since come out to clarify those remarks. She said she was specifically referring to a small group of people who were using abusive language against leaders, not the entire generation of protesters. But the soundbite is what travels, you know? And Generation Gutter is a very strong phrase. It's led to a lot of public reaction, with people like Rocky Sawant and Abhijit Dipke, among others, responding very strongly against her comments.
It just feels like a very turbulent time. On one hand, she's opening up about a very valid and often difficult experience as an outsider, which many people can relate to. On the other hand, she's making these sweeping public statements that are causing a lot of anger and hurt. It's a lot to process.
It is, and it makes it difficult to have a nuanced conversation because the headlines become so loud. But her initial point about the industry's cliquish nature is something that resonates because we have seen it play out for decades.
Definitely. It's a conversation worth having, perhaps with a little less inflammatory language all around.
Perhaps. Well, speaking of industry insiders and relationships, we got a lovely dose of positivity and nostalgia from Karan Johar.
Oh, this was so nice to see. A real palate cleanser. First, he shared a bunch of unseen, behind-the-scenes photos from the sets of Rocky Aur Rani Ki Prem Kahani to mark the film's 3rd anniversary.
3 years already, I can't believe it. The photos were just wonderful. Candid shots of Alia Bhatt, Ranveer Singh, the legendary Dharminder. It just looked like such a happy, warm set. It really did.
And he sort of teased that he's getting back on a set soon for another project that's close to his heart. The man never stops.
He really doesn't. But the even more touching post was for Guru Purnima. He shared these beautiful throwback pictures and wrote a heartfelt note to Shah Rukh Khan and Aditya Chopra.
This was just so genuine. He called them his bhai and credited them as being the reason he can tell stories today. He talked about how they shaped his career, guided him, and had faith in him when he was just starting out.
It was such a beautiful tribute. He recalled a specific promise Shah Rukh Khan made to him that he says changed his life, and just expressed this deep gratitude. In an industry that can seem so transactional, seeing that kind of decades-long loyalty and acknowledgement is really special. It really is. And it connects back, in a way, to the whole insider-outsider conversation. Karan Johar is an insider, yes, but he's also someone who actively acknowledges the people who open the doors for him. He's very clear about his gurus. That's a great point. It's a different way of navigating the industry. Not necessarily better or worse, just different. His path was one of mentorship and building on those relationships, and he's always been very open about that. It's a reminder that behind all the business and the box office, there are these deep personal histories that connect everyone. It was a lovely, emotional post. It was. Now, from a director looking back fondly to another director looking back a little more clinically.
Oh, I know where you're going with this. Director Sunil Darshan has been talking about casting Priyanka Chopra in the film Andaz way back in the day.
Yes, and the story is, well, it's very of its time. He said that he initially cast Kareena Kapoor, but for whatever reason that didn't work out. So he met with Priyanka, who had just won Miss World.
And he said he wasn't impressed at first. He apparently found her look to be ordinary. But then he says he saw her without makeup, and she reminded him of a young Rekha, which is a huge compliment.
But then he brings up her, quote, nose issue, and mentions that she later had surgery to fix it. He positions Andaz as her real breakthrough because her debut film, The Hero, Love Story of a Spy, hadn't done well.
It's just so wild to hear a director speak so frankly about a star's appearance and cosmetic procedures from 20+ years ago. Can you imagine that happening today? The internet would have a meltdown.
Absolutely not. It really highlights how much the discourse has changed. Back then, these things were whispered about, but for a director to just lay it out there as a matter-of-fact part of the casting story is jarring.
It is, and it speaks volumes about the insane pressure on actresses, especially then. You've just won a global beauty pageant, and a director is still assessing your features and suggesting they need to be fixed for you to succeed in films. It's a tough business, and look at her now, a global superstar, producing, acting, doing it all. She's currently working on S.S. Rajamouli's epic Varanasi with Mahesh Babu. There was even a whole news cycle about whether she would be dubbing her own lines in Telugu for it. The producer had to come out and clarify. For the record, they've said she will be. But it just goes to show you, the journey from being scrutinized for your nose issue to being a powerhouse whose dubbing choices are a matter of national news, that's quite an arc.
That is the definition of making it. She has more than proven any early doubters wrong.
1,000,000 times over.
Now, we need to shift gears for a moment to a much more serious topic. The state of Assam has been devastated by severe flooding.
It's just heartbreaking. So many people have been displaced and the situation is dire. And we're seeing some prominent figures from the industry step up to help.
Yes,
Salman Khan, through his Being Human Foundation and in collaboration with his fan club in Assam, has launched a relief drive. They're working to provide essential supplies like food, clean drinking water, and medicine to the affected areas. And Alia Bhatt has also been using her platform to raise awareness. She's been posting appeals, urging people to support the victims, and highlighting the urgent need for assistance.
She mentioned that she would be sharing links and information for verified organizations that are working on the ground, so people know how they can contribute directly and effectively. It's so important when celebrities use their immense reach for something like this. It cuts through the noise and can mobilize a huge amount of support very quickly. It absolutely can. Our thoughts are with everyone affected by the floods in Assam, and we hope the relief efforts continue to grow. Absolutely. On a related note of well wishes, there's been an update from Tollywood about several top stars who were recently injured. Right, it felt like there was a string of accidents on film sets. The good news is that stars like Ram Charan, Junior NTR, and Pavan Kalyan are all reportedly recuperating well after suffering injuries during their shoots.
That is great to hear. The scale and intensity of action sequences these days are just off the charts, and the risk for actors is very real. It's a relief to know they're on the mend.
It certainly is. And staying in the South for a moment, we have a music controversy that has been put to rest.
Oh, the one surrounding Surya's upcoming film Karupu? That's the one.
There were some online allegations about the music, specifically some sacred chants used in the score. The composer, Sai Abhyankar, came out and clarified everything. He explained that it wasn't a sample. They recorded the music fresh in his studio.
And they brought in a priest from Kashi to perform the Sanskrit mantras to ensure authenticity and correct pronunciation.
Exactly. It's a great example of a composer being transparent and addressing concerns head-on. It respects the culture and also shuts down any misinformation. A very classy move.
Totally agree. Okay, let's move on to some new visuals. We got a brand new poster for the film Daira.
Yes, it's a crime thriller from director Meghna Gulzar, and the poster features Kareena Kapoor Khan and Prithviraj Sukumaran in a very tense face-off.
It looks so intriguing. The lighting is dark, their expressions are super intense. It really sharpens the mystery around the film. I love a good thriller, and with those three names attached, my expectations are very high.
Mine too. It's a fantastic pairing, and Meghna Gulzar is such a meticulous storyteller. That is one I am definitely looking forward to.
Me too. Speaking of things people are looking forward to, there's a rumor about a massive new project.
Let me guess. Allu Arjun and Atlee?
You got it. The film is reportedly titled Raka, and the numbers being thrown around are just staggering. They're saying it's being planned with a budget of 1,000 crores. 1,000 crores! That is an astronomical figure.
And it gets bigger. The report says it's being planned as a two-part epic that spans from a tribal Puranic Vedic era all the way to the present day.
Wow.
So it's not just a movie, it's a mythological, time-spanning franchise event. That is ambition on a whole other level. It is. After the success of films like RRR and the Bahubali series, it seems like the ambition is to just keep getting bigger and bigger. Well, if anyone can handle that scale, it's Atlee and Allu Arjun. That is a combination of pure cinematic energy. No kidding. Okay, let's do a quick round of bite-sized news. Did you see this story about the new Jumanji trailer? The one where fans thought they heard a classic Bollywood tune? Yes, people were convinced that the background music was using the tune from Salman Khan's iconic song, Mere Rang Mein, from Maine Pyar Kiya. I saw the videos online comparing them, and there is a slight similarity in a few notes, but the article clarified that it's just a coincidence, a case of musical pareidolia, perhaps. I love that. Our brains just want to find a Bollywood connection in everything, don't they, though? And speaking of Salman Khan, he's apparently going to make a special appearance in the show Alliance to support his brother Sohail Khan. Oh, that's sweet. It seems Sohail was quite emotional after his ex-wife Seema Sajde voluntarily left the show, so Salman is going in to give him a little boost, always there for his family. And in other celebrity family news, Virat Kohli and Anushka Sharma have reportedly bought another luxury apartment in Mumbai. Another one? Good for them. This one is in Versova for a cool 18.29 crores. They continue to set couple goals and real estate goals. Indeed. And finally, let's look ahead to August. The OTT platforms are loading up. Yes, the big news is that Amitabh Bachchan is coming back with a new season of Kaun Banega Crorepati, a true institution of Indian television. It's just not the same without it. It really isn't. And Karan Johar is also bringing a new celebrity game show that's being described as packed with lies and betrayal. Sounds juicy. It does. So plenty to watch next month. Between the cinema and the streaming services, we will be well and truly entertained. We definitely will not be bored.
And that seems like a pretty comprehensive look at the week. I think so. From the box office highs to the flood relief lows, and all the celebrity chatter in between, it's never a dull moment. Never. Ready to wrap it up? Let's do it. Headlines to heartbeats tuck. You've been listening to Bollywood Deep Dive from IndiaReview.com. Come back tomorrow. Namaste.